offense usually is the first one to get the ball. Kirk Ferentz likes to go with the receive on the opening kickoff. How big of an emphasis do you guys put on getting the game off on the right foot?
Yeah, I think anytime you can start fast and play with the lead, it makes things a little bit easier. So if we can go out there, score, or get in good field position to start the game, it always helps us mentally. And then just starting with the lead is always the biggest thing. Starting fast, and I think that's just what we try to go out there and do on offense, and just get the team going.
Minnesota had 9 sacks last week. What have you noticed from their defensive line that's so impressive?
Just a lot of movement, and they'll show you a lot of different fronts, trying to confuse you, especially in 3rd and long. Just a whole lot of looks that are challenging, but it's kind of fun getting to go up against that because you get to see how you match up against it. But yeah, just a lot of challenging looks for sure.
Do they give you different looks that maybe you haven't seen all year? Are they similar to somebody else that you've played?
This year we haven't seen some of them, but I've been here for a while now, so I've seen quite a few of the looks that they've thrown at us, and there's some nuances and different things that they do and variations of things and whatnot. But we've seen a lot of these looks. We've practiced against a lot of them, so at the end of the day, it's just about setting together and doing things together as a unit, and I think we'll be successful.
Does it help in a sense when you've seen how they're successful with a lot of their schemes and stuff, getting to the quarterback, that you guys know, okay, that's what we need to not do to avoid a sack?
Yeah, I mean, that's what film's for. You watch what they do and what they're trying to do, especially to us. They're trying to confuse us and do different looks, just get us, to not set together. And, we always pride ourselves on setting together. So, yeah, they'll try and, take us away from that. And, it's just about being together as a unit and just communicating, seeing the fronts, and just all being on the same page. Because if you get off the same page, that's when they have success.
How big has Mark's mobility been in avoiding big sack numbers for the opposition this year?
I mean, it's been great. Anytime you have a mobile quarterback like Mark who can scramble and make plays on his feet, it makes it easier for us and then harder on the defense too, because not only can he throw the ball, but he's a threat to run. So you got to be able to guard both, and that makes it hard on any kind of defense.
With Cade and Trevor being first-time starters, what do you feel like has allowed them to, it just seems kind of seamless the way that they've transitioned. Why do you feel like that's been the case?
Just the way they've operated since they got on the campus. I mean, those guys, they want to be here, they want to work, and they want the best, not only for the room, but themselves too. And they challenge themselves every day at practice, working on the things that they might struggle with. And I think Coach Barnett did a great job bringing, that whole class, honestly, every dude in that class has just done a great job of just accepting the challenge. And, it's never going to be easy. And those guys both have stepped up and have done a great job. You wouldn't be able to tell their first-year starters just the way they operate and who they are. We always have this saying, you got to act like a winner before you are a winner, and that's exactly how they've done things.
Play for you guys. He's hurt, obviously, plays with that style. Yet you all are hurt. Just you're fine, but you're hurt.
Yeah.
How does that endear you to him when you see a quarterback giving it his all, knowing that he's not 100%?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's the type of guy he is. He wants to be out there playing because he just enjoys the game, man. And, it's easy to play for a guy who wants to be out there and compete, and even when he's hurt. It's tough, and I feel like we always talk about this, especially in offense line room. It's not about who you are when you're feeling 100%, but it's about who you are when you're playing, when you're feeling 60%, right? You still got to be at your best, even though you're not feeling the best. And that's everybody in the country right now. We're 7 or 8 weeks in, whatever it is. Everybody's got some bumps and bruises, but who deals with those the best and who can play on Saturday and deal with that and the issues and understand you're never going to feel perfect, and that's the way the game is, and whoever can handle that the best is going to succeed. And I think Mark has done a great job with that, especially with his knee. Just seeing him, and his growth, and just being in the training room and all this stuff, just wanting to be out there with us. He's done a great job, and it's easy to follow a guy like that.
Being a winner the way he is, he's got more wins than any other quarterback in college football history, which is really amazing.
Crazy,
when you think about it. But just the manner in which he does it too. Yeah. He hasn't thrown for 18,000 yards or whatever. But does that kind of bring a togetherness, just knowing he's out there slugging it out, the way his style is and everything?
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of got a feel for the way he plays and his style, and he wants to be physical, he wants the ball in his hands, and I've kind of realized that you want guys like that. When the game's on the line, who are you going to put the ball in their hands? And Mark's our guy. He's been our guy, and he showed that on Saturday. I mean, just going out there and balling, getting those few touchdowns, just freaking stud, dude, and just the way he's done everything. You know, he's from the day he got here, we understood he was a winner, and he's acted like a winner, and he's been a winner since he's got here, and he's shown that. And I think that's why he's had so much success. And like I said, like you got a guy like that on your team, it's easy to play for a man like that. It really is, and we just respect the hell out of him, just the way he approaches everything. I mean, he's a winner, and he's shown that every day.
You know, there was C.J. Beathard was a lot like him in some ways, where he made plays, the subtle plays. Like there was one game against Pitt when they hit the 57-yarder, where he ran, time was expiring, he hit the ground, timeout with 2 seconds left to get the game-winning field goal. And he's kind of in that same boat where he could have fairness fly because he always gets the sideline. But he did that the other day with the rollouts, the plays that you guys didn't know about.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, did you know that play?
I had no clue. Yeah, no, I remember I blocked back on my guy. You know, I'm here straining, thinking the ball's going here. Next thing you know, I see Mark out there with the ball running for a first down. I'm like, what the hell? That was awesome. That was a great play call.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
During the bye week, Tim compared Mark to Tim Tebow in terms of running style. Do you think that's a fitting comp, and have you heard that before?
I have not heard that before. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really watch a whole lot of quarterback film and understand a whole lot of that. But if Coach Lester thinks that, yeah, I can compare that. I mean, I do think they were both big dudes. You know, they can run the ball, they can throw the ball. Just big. I think Mark's like 240. So I mean, he's a giant running back who can throw the ball basically too. So it's awesome to have a guy like that. I can see that.